And Blake, I expect our Lake Michigan beaches are going to be pretty crowded this weekend.
Yeah, they are going to be packed. If you want to head to the Lakeshore, we talked about this earlier, Juliet, get that parking spot early in the day because it might be hard to find one by midday into the afternoon. It's going to be a nice weekend here at home, no doubt about it. Our 13 weather ball is solid green, no change foreseen in our numbers compared to today, mostly in the middle 80s for the daytime high tomorrow. I do suspect that our Lakeshore communities will be a few degrees warmer tomorrow compared to today. But one thing's for sure, we are going to be on the dry side tomorrow with ample sunshine expected. 13 weather ball brought to you by West Shore Home. And there it is, our weekend in a nutshell. Tomorrow, mid 80s expected by afternoon under a mostly sunny sky. Here's the thing with tomorrow and Sunday. Despite it being warm, look at Sunday, well into the 80s, almost near 90 in our hottest locations. Both weekend days will not feature really any notable mugginess, and that's the good news about this weekend. We're going to check off all the boxes here. We're going to be warm, but not humid. We're going to enjoy ample sunshine both weekend days, and for the most part, Saturday and Sunday, just a gentle breeze, meaning a lower swim risk for those heading to Lake Michigan. Daytime highs today, let's make our way back to this Friday, and daytime highs settled mostly in the middle 80s. 87 was our hot spot in Grand Rapids, and 87 is about 4 degrees above the average of 83. The record high for this 10th of July for Grand Rapids, 102 degrees back in 1936 during the Dust Bowl era. As for what's going on right now, low pressure and its attendant front is to our south. That's where the greatest concentration of showers and storms reside across the Ohio River Valley. For us in West Michigan, just some drifting cloud coverage from the west. This is more of a higher level cloud deck, those cirrus clouds. So some filtered sunshine still making its way through the cloud deck, but we'll likely contend with this varying cloud coverage throughout this evening and maybe a fair chunk of tonight. But the expectation is for drier air to funnel into West Michigan, scurry out the clouds, and allow us to enjoy ample sunshine throughout our Saturday and continuing through our Sunday. As for temperatures, they fall into the 60s tonight off that east to northeast wind. That wind direction carries on tomorrow, and those numbers work their way into the middle 80s in most spots. But again, as we talked about just a minute or two ago, that this is going to be a popular place. Grand Haven Beach Camera, all of our local beaches all up and down Lake Michigan will be quite busy tomorrow because those beach and boating conditions look rather ideal. Just a bit of a chop off those north-facing structures and piers because I do think in due time tomorrow the wind direction will try to turn more northerly. But as of now, only expecting 1 to 2 footers at most. Water temperatures sit mostly in the upper 60s to lower 70s. And if you're wondering about Sunday, waves are expected to remain at a foot or less, so very little chop on Sunday. High pressure, there's our heat dome that will set up by the end of the weekend across the midsection of the country, this large ridge of high pressure, and this will really settle in across the country Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this upcoming week, and we'll have some of the benefit of this heat dome if you like hotter temperatures Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before this somewhat slackens the heat dome itself and pushes back to the west. What that means by the end of next week, we might see some unsettled weather return to the picture and also some cooler temperatures. And here's what I mean by that. Temperatures this weekend in the 80s, then we climb near 90 on Monday into the 90s Tuesday and Wednesday, and then potentially back into the 80s to wrap up the week. Regardless, the next 7 days do appear above average for July standards. So no true cool down expected. But I will say with those 90s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the mugginess will try to creep up on us, dew points back into the 60s, but it will not be as tropical or oppressive as what we dealt with last week with that stretch of 90-degree heat. So this is a bit manageable as next week goes on. We'll say we're still going to have a 13 weather impact alert Tuesday and Wednesday because that will be likely the peak of the heat here in West Michigan. And with just enough humidity around, could see that heat index peaking around 100 degrees during the afternoon to early evening. So that will be our true focus as we work our way into next week, that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame with the peak of the heat and just enough humidity to make it feel close to 100 degrees. As for tomorrow, temperatures settle in the middle 80s in most spots, a mostly sunny sky, little humidity to contend with, a gentle wind. Yeah, we just checked off all the boxes, I think, for the midst of summer. As for your 13 on your side, 7-day forecast. Yeah, it's a bit warm Sunday, but again, the humidity non-factor. full sunshine Sunday, around 90 on Monday. It will trend a touch muggy by the end of Monday and then into Tuesday and Wednesday, with Tuesday and Wednesday potentially, Juliet, well into the 90s. And then we'll see how the end of the week goes. We could see some unsettled weather that cools us down only into the upper 80s, but not 90s. But bottom line, great weekend, and then some building heat for a few days next week.
And at least the lower humidity is not going to be as uncomfortable with the high.
And that's the best thing about
I
it.
know.
Anything you want to do this weekend, get out and enjoy.
Thanks, Blaine.